Now what I always say, measure twice, cut 3 times, measure again, cut 2 more times. Zoom in. Bam. That's what we're doing. Spit out.
Kitty, come to mama. I will lick you, sniff you, drama. You'll never hear from my lips, miss you. I'll never use the word.
When I said stop, don't move.
Alright, so that is the passenger rear wheel well cover, inverter and battery cover, and shelf for it'll be bridged across the back. So we'll see if it fits. Trays that fit in between this shelf and this shelf to raise the whole thing up if you want to carry a big load, or we'll have a 24-inch wide gap to get the DIT car out. And then there'll be a folding table attached to the back of this. And underneath here will be house batteries and the inverter and all of that sweet stuff. And then ideally it'll pick up this little original tie-down anchor, and that'll help hold it in along with the L-track underneath it. So this is a cold chop saw, or a cold cut saw. It doesn't use abrasives, it actually uses a tooth disc like a wood saw. So it rips through metal and just makes little chips. It doesn't make a giant mess. It goes a lot faster and it's a lot nicer to use. Do a little bending. Now it fits the contour of the van. That's pretty chill, dude. We got our first shelf in. This is eventually going to be the drawer slide to eject the Pelican case out the back. Like, Pelican case out. We're having a little emotions running now because we're a ½ inch off on the metal. It just needs a little opening like a delicate flower to get it to perfectly fit, because I'm a ½ inch off on measurements. And everything has to fit to this side too, so that when we fold out the table we can make bridge shelves all the way up for really big stuff. So there's like a lot of little bits and bobs.
We're gonna get there.
First install of the slides into our shelf. Yeah, you can leave a little space. Cool. It's 8:30 at night. I've been welding for like 5 hours straight. But the world's most ridiculous van shelf is built. And it weighs almost as much as the van itself. But check this out. Yeah, Bob's working on the shelves here, looking pretty good. Got some wood, and I did a bunch of tab welding. So I'm putting trim on the sliding shelf that's going to come out of the back of the van, the big sliding shelf. It's 3/4 inch by 1/8 inch aluminum. You cut it down, and then we drill holes, and then we countersink the holes so that the screw heads are flush, and then we glue, and then we screw, and we tape until the glue's dry. Then this piece will line up right here. I'm gonna have to braze or solder or something the corners so they're perfect. But I'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it.
What up, OG Mo here. I can't find the shot I need, so I'm gonna take it myself. Check out these dope shelves. They got felt on them. There's 4 of them. This one slides out, as we've reiterated. Also these dope hooks, so you can ratchet strap this thing so your Pelicans don't go flying out of the back. It's got a cargo net. Catch all your gear. Kind of. And yeah, folding table. I think that's it. Pretty dope.
So in the Transit, the batteries by default are under the seat. I believe if you have the dual battery option, there may be one under the engine bay, or they may both be under here, I don't quite know. But in this one, T250, the base model, single battery, it's right here under the seat. So all you have to do is remove the seat. You can see it kind of just stuck it off to the side, so I didn't have to unplug the airbag sensor or whatever that is going on there. And then I'm gonna start my battery wiring, so I'm gonna go 0-2 gauge or 0-1, not quite sure, don't really care. 0-1 from here, under the floor, back behind the wall, back to the dual house batteries, inverter, house power, all that sort of stuff. So first step is gain access to here and add a lug. So that's not really ideal. My lug's a little too small for the cable, so I guess I'm gonna just trim off. And then once it cools here, I'll test it and make sure it's solid. Oh. This is some real talk right now. If you got positive, you need a boot. Cover your positive terminal. It doesn't really matter what kind of boot. This one probably doesn't even fit, but a boot will save your life. Our Transit came with the stock polycarbonate panels, and there was a nice hold on here already, so I just enlarged it. Put a grommet in, and I'm gonna run the positive through there. So it'll be exposed for a little bit right here, but no one's gonna care, right? And then through the wall, back to the batteries, inverter, and all that mumbo jumbo. So my buddy Andreas says rubbing's good for racing, not so good for power cables. So I've just got some rubber insulated grommets to keep it from rubbing back here. And then I'll just zip tie up the rest so it doesn't move at all. And I'm wiring. So ran 12 volt stuff for lights, speakers, other stuff, and then ran 120. You got one extension cord cable connector here that I have to trim. I just used it for the cable because I like the flexibility. And then 120 Romex here that we're going to use for outlet boxes and some other things around the way. So one little pro tip: label your wiring. Makes it easier. Other pro tip: you put it in a nice little conduit, less likely to start a fire. Whole sauce. Vans. Living that van life. Oh, hey dude!
Shore power. Yeah. Goes right into the inverter.
Battery, house batteries, inverter, a shunt to monitor the power that's being used, like a watt meter, and then secondary fuse box for all the fuses and the switch system, and that's the power management, remote inverter on off, status switch, and then everything's run up through here. So we have 120 volt system and 12 volt system. 120 goes to here, so we have one here and one on the back, so you have access out the back of the van, and then one for the DIT area. And they also have 120 up there, which will eventually be for like LCD TVs when we're doing any tracking or anything like that. So just trying to get it all wired up here. Also trying to use what Ford has given us with as far as conduits go, which makes it a bit more of a challenge. So a lot of cutting and splicing. So that's my favorite, so that's totally chill.